Good morning. I'm Gianni the Greek coming to you live straight from Las Vegas. It's July 1st, baby. Monday, July 1st. Finally, the month of June is over. Ugh, good riddance, good riddance. Now, I wasn't even going to do a video today because there's only a couple baseball games, but I'm actually getting down and figured I'm not going to leave you guys hanging. I'm going to fire and I'm going to share those with you for all the support. But more importantly, I want to dig into some of the comments and questions because on a day like this, I told Jess, just print them all out that are anything you think matter, and let me get to them. But like I always do, transparency. Not enough of it in this industry. Everyone will tell you when they win, they brag about the hot streaks, but any type of losing, tuck tail and run. Brother, you're going to lose. That's part of the game. You better learn how to do it if you ever want to win. There's only 0.5% of bettors who bet actually are profitable. That's the truth. That's just fact. 99.5 out of 100 sports bettors have negative lifetime earnings. That means that 99.5 out of 100 people that bet are down money. Down. I'm not. You don't have to like my beautiful smile, these great looks, this amazing voice. It's almost puts puppies to sleep, they say. It's so melodic. And or this great grammar, since English is my second language, or none of that. You don't have to like. Again, I'm trolling. Slow down. Chill. In all, let's be serious. What I'm getting at is you don't have to like any of that. The only thing that matters are the numbers. Put aside all the noise, all the marketing, all the advertisement, all the blah, 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 all that bullshit that's out there on the internet. Wipe out all the noise. Fortunately, in our industry, we could do that so easily. We can do that so easily. No matter what kind of marketing campaign I throw at you, no matter what kind of specials and coupon codes I toss out at you, there's only one thing that matters. There's only one question you should have. Not how much my package is, not what the coupon code is. What are my long-term results? And by that, here are the 3 questions you need to ask. It's 2024. We're 6 months in. If I bet $100 on each bet you've placed, what am I up or down? In 2023, if I did the same thing over the 12 months, what am I up or down? And since you've been documented, if I've done that, what am I up or down? If your source of information isn't willing to share the results for 2024 overall, the results for 2023 overall, and the results since launching whatever it is they're promoting and pushing, since they started documenting, if they're even doing that, that's the only 3 questions you need answers to. And if the long-term results show a profit, then you found yourself a plus EV source of information. And as long as you manage your risk correctly, you're a mathematical certainty to turn a profit. That's the reason for this podcast, this show, whatever you want to call it. No other reason. I could give free picks in 30 seconds on freaking Twitter. My girl could turn on the phone and have me do an Instagram video like she's done so many times. And I could give out a couple picks in less than a minute and a half. But that's useless if you don't know the other half of the puzzle, which is proper risk management. Without that, you'll never paint that Picasso. You'll keep slapping on paint, and it'll never paint that perfect picture that you're capable of if you have access to winning information. That's just the bottom line. And whether I win or whether I lose, I'm going to come in and face you every single day because I do this long term. I do this to profit year after year. And that's why I created the Steam Room, so that those who partner with me, I have accountability. I owe them that accountability, where I come in once a week. I have a meeting. They get to ask me any questions, anything they want. I go over our blueprint and our plan, where we are, where we've been, how much they should be up, and help them brush those demons off the shoulder to make sure that this venture is profitable for them like it is for me. because I've won 8 of the last 9 years, and it will be 9 out of 10. And I've come to the conclusion that so many of my subscribers didn't. So many that bought a week, a month, whatever, didn't make money. And if I've won year after year, that's not acceptable. It's unacceptable. So with all that said, if you're here with the goal of being in that 0.5%, then our goals are aligned. That means you could bitch about a losing bet, bitch about a losing day, about a losing week, about a losing month. But deep down, you need to know that my only goal is to win for the year. That's it. That the capital I took to invest in the sports betting market over 12 months produced a profit. That's what I'm doing this for. If that's why you're doing this for, then we're going to definitely make some money together. If it isn't, I'm going to disappoint you. And that's just the bottom line. So how did we do yesterday? I think it's kind of like a split. No win, no loss, no love, no nothing like that. But I know the last 7 days we're definitely down. Even though we had a couple good days in between. That's a volatility. Remember, we went from 1 to 30th to 2nd to just going to bounce around. And that shit only matters for like marketing purposes or for those guys trying to time the market who are going to go broke anyway. I don't mean it in a bad way, but if that's what you're trying to do, you're a mathematical certainty to lose money. That's it. Again, once you have an edge, first you got to find that edge. Once you have that edge, remember, you could now determine what your risk of ruin is. You could determine how many times you're going to double your bankroll and how many times you're going to lose it. Remember that? With an edge, with the information that I share, which has been proven to have an edge, turning a profit 8 of the last 9 years, documented, every single bet released, documented, with the VIG, documented. It's just there. It's all there. It's all there. Now, obviously, we're looking for long-term results. That's all that matters. Now, we got stuff coming in. Hold on. Let me see what I could give you. I got some Wimbledon action that just came in. Here you go. I'm not going to be able to use it for subscribers just because it's not as readily available and the lines move pretty quickly. I'm going to give you WTA. That's the women's side at Wimbledon. Varvara Gracheva, Gracheva. We're taking her at plus 140. So that's Varvara Gracheva plus 140 against Diana Yastramenska. As you'll see, the line will not be plus 140 when you go down to bet it. Because when we fire these, that we move the market. So I can't even get those to my subscribers because most of the value is going to be extracted. But I like to share it with you guys just in case some of you do handicap tennis. You had to lean one way or the other and can take advantage of the information. As they move along in the tournament and the limits we get bigger and there's more action, we will be able to use a lot of this stuff for premium plays. But I want my results to actually reflect what any subscriber can do by just managing the risk the way I do and getting the outs the way I do. Remember, I'm comfortable with a 20% risk of ruin, which means 8 out of 10 times I'm going to double my bankroll. 2 out of 10 times I'm going to lose it. I'm comfortable taking on that risk. We could choose to have a 1% risk of ruin, a 1%. But at that point, I would need my subscribers to have 1,000 units, 1,000 units. So if you're betting $25 a unit, spreading 25 to 125, $25, $50, $75, 100, 125, 1x to 5x, then you would need $25,000. Now ask yourself, how many sports bettors with a $25,000 bankroll are actually betting only about $100 average bet? I'll wait. Yeah, exactly. That was my guess too. That's my guess too. How many with a $1,000 bankroll are betting that $100? How many? Guess what? Their risk of ruin is 99%. Higher than that. They will lose that money over 99 out of 100 times, and less than 1 out of 100 times, they'll double that bankroll because they'll defy probability. That's it. That's the math. That's the math. I know there's guys with a $500 bankroll betting $100 a game, $50 a game. Your risk of ruin is 99%. Like, it's not me. That's not my opinion. That's just how the math plays out. And that's why 99.5 of all people who have ever placed a sports bet are down money. 99.5% out of everyone that's bet. So all that nonsense you're seeing on the internet, all that all those winners on Twitter and social media, again, ask the 3 questions. Can you tell me what you're up this year? Can you tell me what you made last year? And how much you're up since you launched? And again, you should have a significant sample size, statistically significant sample size, upwards of 1,000+ bets. If they're not going to produce that, bro, you know the answer, because there ain't nobody winning long-term that's hiding it. Remember, 0.5% are able to do this. So nobody doing it is going to hide it. And that's why I tell you guys, be very cautious. Be very cautious. There's a ton of sports betting content out there, and it's coming from the 99.5%. I see such nonsense out there. The stuff that people promote. Well, I mean, I guess the sports books paid them, so I'd promote it too, I guess, if I was in that position. But the parlays, the teasers, the same game nonsense, oh my God. They're making these people like not even giving them a chance, So please stay away from that nonsense unless you're here to do it for entertainment. Like I said, I wasn't even going to do this today, and I'm getting it out late. It's about noon our time here, but I wanted to get to the comments and the questions on a slow day like today. And then on top of it, I ended up betting a baseball game. So I'm going to share that with you guys too. In fact, did I give that out already? Let's check. Yes, I did. Now I'm going to give the total. I gave a 3% play on Washington, 3% play. Washington Nationals +1.5 -160. +1.5 -160. And we're also going to go under 8 even money. Under 8 even money on Washington. You see how that works with the money line? With the run line, getting that 1.5 runs when the under steamed at 8, we're in a good position, at least before the game starts. After it, you know what I mean? You could be like, oh, it was the worst bet ever. Anyone could have an opinion after, but it's before the game starts. How do you feel about it? And if you have a low total and +1.5, or more importantly, the total getting steamed towards the under, yeah, that's what we want. All right. I'm just looking to where to bet this. That's all. What I have my accounts written on that wall. So, I mean, I want to know which guy I'm going to give this action to today. Oh, I got 1.5. I got 8.5 on this Mets Washington under. This guy's got 8.5. All right. Take the 8.5 if you could get it. Yeah, this guy's got 8 under -105. My guy here's got 8.5 under -112. I'm taking the 8.5 under -112. It should be at least -115 or greater. Okay. We got that. What are you doing? We'll take it. Come on. Right. So we got the Nationals under. Nationals run line. Yeah, I just moved that to 120, baby. Look at that. 8.5 now 120. Ace made it red. Look at that. We made that red. We lit that up. You see that right there? That's red, right? Right there. We hit that at 115, 8.5. 112, I mean. Yeah. Yeah, that's a little respect. Makes you feel good. Doesn't that make you feel good when you see that? I know. It makes me feel good. Sorry. All right. Let's get to work. So you got Washington +1.5 under Mets Washington. And we also got the tennis that I gave you. Anything else I can do? No. Got a stock for you guys too. If you want to maybe I should hold off on those. Mara's doing real good. I gave you what was that the steam room? I gave Mara out at around $11, right? I mean, at around $18, $19, 18, almost 19, now it's at 22.60. Wow. All right. We'll take it. Let me tell you what I'm looking at here. SCO, which is, crude oil. And we're looking to buy some crude oil. It's cheap. It's dropped now. It's still dropping. It's at $14.98. Get in there. Anything below $15, we're in. We are in SCO. Yes, I like it. It's at $14.98 right now. We're going to buy it. Let me see some indicators on here. Okay, well below the 200-day moving average. Double bottoms at 14.55. All right, so we got a double bottom at 14.55. So what I do is I want to level in. I want to put in about 60% of my position, 50 to 60% of my position at less than 14.98, which I'm doing right now. And then I'm going to hold about 40% of my money in case it drops down to 14.44 and reaches that double bottom. Then I'll dollar cost average. My average will be a little lower, and then we'll take it on the ride up. I haven't done the Fibonacci retrace, but I like that chart just looking at it quickly. The RSI isn't even below that 30 range, and it's dropping. All right, we're gold. All right, stop bothering me. Let's get to these questions. And we'll wait for the steam room this week. Anyone in the steam room, we'll go over all the stocks and a lot of those commodities and what prices and what I'm still holding. How about that Tesla, dude? We had gotten Tesla at like $160, dude. Back when was that? In April, $160. Now it's up to 210. I sold 50% of my position at 200. I had to. Only because that was a 30% increase just about on my capital, 25%. Usually if I'm 10 to 15, I'm out. But it gave me a 25% increase, and I like the chart setup was still bullish. So I kept half of it. I'm keeping this half all the way up to at least 228. Yeah. We got another 7-8% to gain there, baby. Big trade. All right, let's get to these questions. Let's go. All right, smashing and sharing daily. That's my man, Neil Siri, 803. The harder you work, the luckier you get. So true. All right. What's the word and your take and general overview on AI in regards to handicapping? Digital prognostication versus the human element. Can AI bake something into the cake which no one else is using? Thanks for education. Absolutely. The key is figuring out that metric that isn't being factored into the betting line. And how do you do that? By finding that metric that isn't being discussed and talked about, or that you can't easily find like online. That's probably not going to be factored into the betting line. As far as using AI, I wish I was more tech savvy, because I do believe that it will provide a strong foundation. At the end, I think you're going to need the human element because you're dealing with human beings. But I think AI will get it to a point to eliminate most of the things you need for a proper foundation. Like it'll be able to isolate games, positions where maybe the line move is within this percentage that you're looking for. Like, I think you'll be able to use it more for those type of situations to spot inefficiencies, even with scalping and middles, more so than being predictive. We'll still see. Only because I know that so many, programs have already been created trying to be predictive of sports outcomes. Some had to have some success. You remember the computer? No, I mean, most of you guys don't remember. I do, though. Back in the 80s, when the computer group was known for that, because they were out ahead of the books, because they were using computers when the sports books weren't. And they were programming it to spit out projected implied win probability that proved to be more efficient than the sports books. And they profited for a number of years off of that until the sports books eventually got computerized as well, became more efficient, and plugged up that hole. AI is going to find some more holes, Neil. I wish I knew which holes they're going to find. I'd love to get together with a computer programmer and answer their questions and let them know all the stuff that I know about it and see and about handicapping and what I think is predictive and markets and Lime and all that, and see if we could feed an AI program or system or whatever it is to generate something. I'd love to be a part of a group like that. I'm just not tech savvy. And I found my little niche, old school, that I keep just rinsing and repeating. But I'm always open to newer and better things because, the markets evolve. Markets definitely evolve. But again, the human element is something you can't take away from the equation. All right. Nathan Kellum, 164, went 4-0 with your MMA picks. Appreciate you, Ace. Have a question. Other than blackjack, do you play any other casino games? Good man. That's the goal. You did exactly, Nathan, what I urge my subscribers and even just supporters to do with the stuff that I share. You should disagree with a lot of it because I'm not 100%. Okay. I win more than I lose. I've proven that, but I'm not going to be 100%. So you should ultimately disagree. And that's not a problem. Okay. Number two, you should narrow down the ones you like. You shouldn't blindly piggyback my work unless that's how you're going to invest. And then you need to do that the entire way. Meaning, if you're not going to handicap at all and you're just going to find the outs and piggyback everything I send at the good numbers, then just do that for a statistically significant sample size, which over 12 months we will have. And things will work out beautifully. Otherwise, do exactly what Nathan did. I sent out Washington and under today. You're already, let's say you handicapped it and you're like, dude, I don't like Washington. I love the Mets in that game. I like the under. I agree with Ace on the under. Sure, I'll bet the under. But I'm not taking Washington, not even plus 1.5. I like the Mets. Then pass on Washington. And if the Mets win the night 3-1, you'll be happy. You'll be 1-0 and I'll have split. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone is grown men and women. You're in charge of your own futures and also your own investments and how you plan on doing it. So please do what works best for you. All right. Next. I got to get going today too. All right. X-Roback 16. Good stuff, Ace. I've been following you for a couple years now, but just now started actually being disciplined like you tell us to. I'm doing an experiment with 500 roll to see how quickly I can grow doing. Obviously, I'm only taking your free info for now, but I have a couple questions. How long do you think it'll take to double the roll by flat betting $5 per play? And at what point would you recommend I start increasing the bet size? I'd start increasing the bet size when you increase your bankroll by 50%. And give it a week or two to see if we're just going to chop a little bit, because you're never going to keep going up in a straight line. So I would do that. As far as how long the double bankroll, again, that every week, month, year is different. Like last year, we did it in the last, I think 4.5, 5 months of the year is when we ended up doubling bankroll because we were down, and then we ended up increasing it by 80%. So we did it within a 5-month span. We doubled the bankroll. Betting the way I urge 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1%, 1.25. So by average bet of about less than 1%, they doubled the bankroll in about 5 months. And that's because of the volume that I was sending out. But if that's going to change, that's always going to change based on how generous the market is that year. So you just have to have patience and have a big enough sample size. That's the key. You can't be in a rush. That's all that. There are always going to be games. Long time. Hey, Ace, never better here. Could you please speak on paying taxes on winnings at the end of the year? Is there anything we should know or keep in mind? Yeah, try to pay as little taxes as you possibly can. Other than if you get paid out by hand, where they have to, give you the tax form, if you hit a slot machine or something. Otherwise, I try to keep it low, bro. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I pay taxes as a gambler because I need to, and I need to show the income. But I urge bettors to pay as little taxes as possible. You got to remember your overhead, your gas to and from the sports book, your internet, your hours studying and research. All that stuff is overhead. Your losses, your losing tickets, like all of that. Got to try to find the offset it. You want to offset it unless you need to show income. I mean, that's the goal. Because once you let the IRS know that you're gambling and you turn to profit gambling, they're going to expect you to turn to profit gambling every year. And what happens when 2 years you don't, you're probably going to get audited. Trust me, I know. So yeah, if you're going to pay taxes as a winning gambler, make sure you sit down with your accountant, because I am not an accountant. So do not take my financial advice when it comes to that, or any tax advice. I would sit down with my advisor. But just from my own experience, I try to stay as much off the radar as possible when it comes to sports betting and taxes. Every time I cash in or out more than 10,000, I have to fill out a CTR, which is a cash transaction receipt. I try to do those as little as possible. Even if I have to bet 8,000 instead of 11,000, and even if I have to go to 3 different books, if you understand what I'm saying. So maybe I have 20 grand on the aside, but I'm not betting a $20,000 ticket, if that makes sense. So Mr. IRS agent, if you're watching, that ain't me. Hypothetical. All right. Josh Wokley, 1899. What are the key numbers in NFL and college? Point spreads, wise totals. Also, does it take more money for a number to move up or down off a key number? For example, in NFL, I know 3 is a key number. Oh, absolutely. Because if it's the highest probability of a game landing there, it has the highest probability of the book being middled. So around key numbers, they're definitely going to need a lot more one-sided risk before they're ever going to come off it. As far as the key numbers in NFL, college, I mean, the NFL, it's 3 and 7, 3 more than anything else, followed by 7. College football, same thing, just a little bit less. And especially with the extra point and the 2-point conversions and all of that stuff. As far as totals, that changes from year to year. I mean, 51 was the most important for a while. Now they're such high scoring games, that changes. How I approach it is, instead of looking at key numbers, I approach the totals is what's each half point worth. And between 35 and 55 in the NFL. And believe it or not, each half point actually differs. I have a chart that tells me what each half point's worth. That's why my subscribers during football season, even on totals, I will tell them we're going under 47 minus 120 by the half a point at 46.5, at 40, whatever it is, because I'm looking to buy if it's not charging me what it should. And now on 3, you're almost always going to pay more than you should. And on 7, you're always going to pay more than you should. But there's sometimes a number like 10 where they're not charging you minus 122 and they're only charging you minus 120. And there's times you should take it, especially when the total's a certain number. So there's a lot that goes into answering a question like that. I could do a whole show on NFL key numbers and then a whole show on college football key numbers, but start with 3 and 7 and then go for there and expand out, because 4s matter, 8s matter now, 5s even matter more than they did. So yeah, just know what each half point's worth and your goal, and you'll never pay more than you should for a half a point, and you'll always be able to find that half a point on sale. All right. Connor Chandler, 1705. Does a low risk of ruin equal a low expectation of profit, or is it just a slower profit long-term, meaning profit takes time, but we will get there? No, it's not lower expectation of profit if you keep your risk of ruin low, because it's your bankroll. Your bankroll size is going to determine that, not your risk of ruin. Like I have a 20% risk of ruin. My subscribers have a 20% risk of ruin, but I may be working with a $400,000 bankroll. They may be working with a $40,000 bankroll. Our risk of ruin is the same, of losing that entire bankroll. Now the amount of profit, obviously, because I'm working with 400 grand, they're working with 40,000. So my 1% of 40,000 is a lot more than 1% of 4,000, of 400,000, than of 4,000 or 40,000, whatever I said. That's where the difference is, not in the risk of ruin, but to make sure you don't take 50 years to hit the long term. That's where volume comes in. That's where we want to find volume. And let's say people are like, oh, that's too high volume. Well, let's put it this way. Let's say you're betting 5 plays a day, okay? You get over a year, 350 days, you know, what's that going to be? 1,700 plays. You're going to be in statistical significance. So if you average about 5 plays a day, you'll get there. But most people, some people are even afraid of that. They'll say, I want 2 plays a day. Okay, that's 700 bets after a year. Not enough for statistical significance. And obviously, our edge is small. So the profit's not going to be that much. I'd rather be off of 7,000 bets over that same time period. I want to put 70,000 bets if I can, 700,000 bets if I can. But if you have an edge, all you want to do is be betting. All right, we got another Wimbledon. I got to get going, man. WTA, Donna Vekic. WTA, Donna Vekic. Donna Vekic against Erica Andreeva. Where you at, Erica Andreeva? We want to fade you. I need to have my girl up here doing this shit right now. She's a little busy. All right, well, you guys got the play. If you could find it, fire. We're betting her at minus 300. That's Donna Vekic. All right, let's get back to these questions, man. All right. Next, betting Waterson, just a bad play, verge of retirement. Syndicate sharp should know this. Reading lines in blind betting has never been less relevant. This isn't 70s in back rooms of Vegas. I love it. Keep thinking that. Information is readily accessible to anyone who wants it. If you win off stats and doing homework, not following some wannabe mobsters playing sugar daddy for some former bottle girl. I love it. Please keep thinking like that the market has changed so much that you don't need closing line value in 2024, that you could put in parlays and just beat the books. What do you say? So if you laid if the line opens minus 220 and closes minus 170, the dog wasn't a good play at plus 200, 180. Is that what we're getting at? Because if that's your conclusion, keep betting. If you need an account, let me know. Let me know if you need an account. I thank you, Jess, for adding this in. He said, syndicate sharp should know this. Reading lines in blind betting. Who's blind betting? This is nothing but, you see these are nothing but bots. You see bots? These are nothing but bots and plays coming in. Good Lord. What else do you need to see? This is how the groups work. Like, again, anyone that could actually say that, forget Waterson, forget that it's the play, just that a minus 220 that closes minus 170 and we bet the dog at open is a bad bet. I can't have that argument. Like, you can't even argue that. Just Google CLV, closing line value, and then determine what my edge was before the fight started. Not after, before it started, what my edge is based on CLV. Forget even handicapping, not one statistic about striking, grappling, nothing, zero statistics. You don't even have to know the name. Just Google CLV. And if you bet a plus 200 that closes plus 150, was she 140? Tell me about how the bet was. Even if I got 150 and it closed 140, tell me how bad of the bet was. Again, I can't believe people are betting in 2024 and still believe this. He said information is readily accessible to anyone who wants it to win off of stats. Tell me what predictive stats you have access to. What are predictive? Yards per game? What predictive stats do you have access to? And what's the correlation that you're using? Can you give us the correlation to ATS and the correlation to just money line winning? You're the brains Phil said, I'm going to look back for the answer to that. So give me your top 3 stats and their correlation to ATS victory and their correlation to just winning outright. And then we'll go to the next step, how you would manage your risk based on those 3 stats showing you have an edge. We'll even start there. Won't even go bigger since you're the deep stat guy and you could find it easily. Show us how it's done. I'll keep following the syndicates and keep moving steam. I'll keep looking for accounts and finding steam. And the momsters backstage. Bottle girl, bro, bottle girl. Bottle girls are hot. There's a lot of hot bottle girls, but she came from money, so it's a little different from this for this one. But okay. Next. Dustin and Jamie H. These snake oil salesmen pretend they all use the syndicates and have all the inside info. No one has inside information, bro. But have the same winning percentage betting on sports as I do, capping all my own games. That's awesome. If you're doing as good as Billy Walters and as good as Haralabob does on NBA and as good as, the poker kids do in baseball, dude, keep doing what you're doing. Fuck, I'll move for you. DM me your stuff every day. I swear to you, I'll move your shit. If you're beating the lines, if you're getting CLB, I'll move your stuff. I'll give you a nickel game. And we'll see what it does. I'll move it for you. If you're beating the numbers, I work for you. That's what I do. I move for guys that win. And if you're actually truthfully beating poker boys in baseball, Billy Walters Resort, and you're doing those kind of numbers, then I should be moving for you. Or a different group should be moving for you. I can't do it, but if you could do it, that's awesome. I don't need to buy picks or need groups to tell me how to bet. No, you don't. You don't, especially if you're doing that much winning. What the fuck? If he was winning that much, he wouldn't be selling picks. He'd be trying to recruit accounts to get as much action down as possible. That's what I do. That's what I do. I get accounts for a living. Let me show you my accounts real quickly. Let me just show this gentleman. Real quickly my accounts. Just for last week. This is last week. Just going to show you last week. This is the accounts I play with, just so you understand. Okay. Total of 66 accounts I had last week. Okay. How am I going to block this sound? Because I can't show you some of the agents. Can't show you my agents. But we're going to show you, big boy. Let's get in here. What do we move in here? Right? What's that? 66 accounts. What did we move? That's what I do. What are these? Oh, these are all accounts that I provide. Let me see. Oh, shit. That's a lot of accounts. That's what I do, bro. That's what I do. I have more accounts than you could freaking imagine, bro. The reason I don't go searching for accounts is because guys like you end up burning guys like me when you get accounts, because you start taking bad numbers, you start betting your own stuff, and then we win and you didn't collect from the book because you lost your own money. Trust me, I've gone down that road 10 years ago, dude, a long time ago. The reason there's $250,000 in cars out there and there's $1 million home is because that's what I do. I provide accounts. It wasn't from selling picks. Show me someone that's done that from selling picks, and I'll just sell picks. Fuck getting accounts and meeting bookies. And again, this ain't a brag. This is just, please, these is nonsense. These are just hating. Jesus, man, what is wrong with people? So then do it. What are you telling me for? Like, if you're doing it, God bless. If you're doing it, why do you have time to do this? If you're doing that, like, you're telling me if I'm winning, if I'm doing this for the bank syndicates, why would I do this? Well, if you're crushing and doing that, why are you watching my YouTube? Why are you How do you have all this time to comment? You're watching me, bro. I'm not watching you. Like, remember, you clicked mine. I didn't click yours. So you took the time to tell me this shit. That's awesome. So don't buy. Whoever tried to sell you anything. No one's selling you nothing, dude. Nothing at all. You don't have to buy anything. Chill. I'd be trying to recruit and get as much action down as possible. No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that, because what happens when a book tells you go fuck yourself? You're going to have to cover it. Dude, that's inexperienced saying that. Get down just bet as much as you can. Get down as much as you can, because I do get a percentage. So theoretically, that's what I should be doing. But in the real world, only a moron would do that, because that's how you get burned. bro, I get offered accounts every single day. I have to vet them so thoroughly because I pay on Tuesdays. I let my guy books. I don't need to collect till Friday. I pay my people. When I lose, I pay Tuesday. Anyone that's worked with me will tell you that. That's when I pay. I don't wait till ends of the week. So I expect to also get paid. But obviously that's not going to happen if you're just taking accounts from anybody. The gift, the gab. Thank you. Thank you. But I told you, don't let these beautiful teeth, this gorgeous look, this melodic voice fool you. Don't let the gift, the gab fool you. Force me to give you my results. Ask for my numbers. Because I have since 2015. You could go to thebigmoves.com and you could click Greek Gambler and you could go all the way back to November of 2015 and you could pull up every day and you could see how I did, VIG included. Also, how's every internet capper up 3574 units? I don't know. I don't know how they are. Seems sketchy. Yep. I'm sure there's so many that are phony. One way or another, these documented bets. Where? I don't know. Show me someone that's documented 3,000 plus bets that are off. Like, give us examples. Here, I'm going to ask, what is your name? Dustin and Jamie H. Tomorrow, I will wait. Show me links so I could go and check these people that you're saying have 3,000 plus bets documented that show profit. Give us the links. I know one myself that has 3,000 plus a year per average per year. Now I know there's other crack. I know wins long term. I know Philly Godfather wins long term. I know who else do I know that wins long term? I'm leaving a couple guys out. Warren Sharp with NFL wins long term. I'm leaving a handful of guys out. A handful of dudes out. A lot of, So please, none of you guys that win long-term, take it personally. But I'm just saying, there's plenty of guys that win long-term that have their long-term results documented. Yeah, we're legit. We're real. But all those that are just telling you their numbers, again, I can't speak for them, Dustin. I can't speak for them. I could just speak for what I do, bro. That's it. And prior to 2015, I didn't document because I was at a site that was pushing games of the year. No, before that, then I was with Philly. Before that, when I was at pregame, that's what they were pushing. So I don't have documentation from there. I do from Philly, from 2012, 2013, probably. Damn, so I have like 13 plus years of documented winning. Holy shit. Anyway, but yeah, I'm just telling, I could only speak for me, bro. I can't speak for anyone else or the rest of the industry or what they're doing. People do whatever they want. And it's on you, the consumer, to vet them and see if their results are documented, whether you believe them or not. Again, you don't have to believe that my results are documented. You could say that for whatever reason, Wager Talk decided out of the 50 cappers to just fake my shit and make me number one. Maybe they like my smile too. I don't know. But maybe they hand selected me instead of someone else. I don't know. Maybe everywhere I go, that's what they did. They just liked my smile and they're like, you know what? We'll lie for this guy and we'll say he's number one in profit. And guess we'll even go back and put in fake picks for you, Ace, because you're just so nice. Maybe they're doing that for me. I don't know. Maybe you could let us know. But like I said, I want these. I beg for this. I like to be challenged. I like the debate, but you got to bring it. You got to bring receipts. You can't just say this is nothing. This isn't receipts. I just gave you receipts. I told you, go to thebigmoves.com. You'll see for cappers. You'll click Gianni the Greek. You'll see another bar that says documented results. You'll click that and you'll scroll back to 2015 and you could do the math yourself. That's receipts. You could go to Wager Talk and they have also, since I started there in 2017, every documented play. Find one that I didn't send out to subscribers that is fake and I'll give you $10,000 right now. Find one, just one play that they added that I didn't send to subscribers. I'll give you 10 grand for each one. Since I'm a snake oil salesman, there'll probably be 50 of them. And I'll either owe you $5 million or I'll have to shut my shit down because I'll be called a fraud and a snake oil salesman. So there's your challenge right there. I'll give you 10 grand for every fake pick that's been documented for me. All right. That's it. And again, I'll check tomorrow. So I'll check for the receipts. I'll check for MIMS HT1DF to show me how closing line value is negative EV. just show me in the math how getting CLV is negative EV, and change my opinion, bro. I swear I'll start preaching what you're telling me. I'll start telling that forget closing line value. It doesn't matter. You don't need it. I'll say that if you could prove it to me. I'll check tomorrow and show me the math behind it. And Dustin and Jamie H, I will check tomorrow to see the 3,000 plus bets that all these guys are documenting that you say are winning. And yours, show us yours, please. That shouldn't be hard to do. You say you're beating all these guys, right? Yeah. You don't need to buy picks. You're doing all your own. Yeah, so you have it all, bro. I'll check for receipts. We'll all cheer it in. I promise you. Again, I look for winning bettors. So I swear to you, I hope you're winning. I want to work for you. If you really are winning, bro, reach out to me. That's what I do. I provide accounts for guys that win. I'm on your side. I'm on your side. I want to see that. I'm not booking your shit. But I at least thought this is just nonsense. Like to say stupid shit like that. Like it's a bad play. Syndicates and sharps should know this. Reading lines is long. And are you serious, bro? You in 2024, you're going to tell me looking at lines doesn't matter? The opening line don't matter. Line movement don't matter. Closing line value don't matter. It's like the square shit I ever heard in my life. Come on, man. Bring better than that. Oh, is it 1970s and back rooms in Vegas? Okay. Well, that's so plain sugar daddy and mobster. Dude, I'm who I am. I'm real. I've never changed. I've been consistent since day one, dude. I am who I am. If that's the image that I give off, that's the image I give off. No one's trying to do anything. And if you're calling her that's a hot chick. Bottle chicks are hot, man. Thank you. I'll let her know. She's going to feel good about that one. So you guys have a great day. I'll be back for the receipts tomorrow. Whether you follow, fade, or ignore, hope you cash them. Don't trash them. Get some winners in here today, baby. It's a small board. I already fired, so I'm going to get out of here and go re-up those accounts for this month. The pool guy's coming over. And the landscaper today. And I'm going to need you to go place that big bet today.